Is it better to target worldwide or tier 1 countries? I've always targeted just tier 1 countries, however, I would love to see your guys' opinion on targeting worldwide. Has anyone here experimented with both strategies and seen better results with one over the other option? Yeah, I've been targeting worldwide, I've been targeting just the USA, I've been targeting just Canada, just Australia, and by tier first countries, according to JetGPT, those countries are United States, Germany, UK, France, Canada, Japan, basically rich countries. By first tier countries, he means like rich countries, and worldwide, I think he means third world, second world countries, or poor countries. So I'm gonna share my experience. Usually, right now, the economy within the USA, the UK, Australia, Canada, the first world country, even in Germany, the economy is not great. There is recession in those countries. However, there are countries who have much better economy. So basically, I've tried worldwide targeting, and it kind of works. It kind of works, but you also tend to spend a lot of money on countries who would never convert. And this will depend on your product. And how do I think about it? Let me show my strategy. So I'm gonna go to Canva Draw, which is one of my favorite tools, and I'm gonna show what I mean. The first thing that you need to consider, what is your average order value, and can you ship your product internationally, and is there a good amount of people speaking English in the country? So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the AOV. The second thing I'm gonna talk about English, right? If they speak English. So if you have an AOV of like more than $1,000, it's gonna be very, very hard to sell it in third world countries. I don't say it's impossible, but I'm just gonna show you what I mean. So I'm gonna go to JetGPT and I'm gonna share what's the average salary, let's say in the top 10 emerging markets. List them. So this is ChatGPT, and he is gonna give us like the emerging markets. So those countries, if you run ads in those countries, you might get a very, very good return on ad spend. For example, I sold a lot of high ticket programs in India. A lot of people will be surprised by that, but I had customers paying me $1,000 for consultation that came from a campaign that I run in India, right? So this is something to consider. Some of those emerging markets, let's say China, they're making close to $16,000 annually, right? So India, the annual salary is around 2,400, and there are locations that are earning decent amount of money. For example, it's not like decent compared to the USA or Canada, but for example, you would never know that the average yearly salary in Saudi Arabia is 20K, and you could easily sell a product in Saudi Arabia that costs like 1,000, right? But if your product costs like, let's say, 400 to let's say 1,000, some locations don't make any sense. So this is something that you need to consider. Also, when you run a net, for example, you can run a net in India, and it might seem like the average order value, the average yearly salary is 2.4K, but there are also like a lot of rich people in India, right? So there are business owners, there are people who are gonna pay high ticket. So this is not very, let's say, how definitive, right? My best case scenario, my best practices I usually do when I do my campaign targeting. In the first campaign target, I target first world countries. So I target United States, Germany, UK. So this is the first campaign I run. The second campaign I run, I target worldwide, right? But the worldwide market, the CPM is much lower. So the CPM in India is much lower compared to the CPM in the United States. So the budget I set to the worldwide locations is like maybe like 20% of the budget I have for the United States. So if in the United States, if I'm having a budget of $100, I'm gonna test the worldwide budget with just $20. And another location I target recently, it's called emerging markets. It stands for EM, and I get the best results from this location, from emerging markets. And I'm gonna show you how to set it up. So when you open your Facebook ads business manager, we're gonna click create on the campaign. We're gonna go to sales. You can choose your objective, Advantage Plus shopping campaign. I won't spend a lot of time. So when we go to location, I'm gonna click on the included location and I'm gonna remove every location. So I'm gonna click on the little browse button and I'm gonna select regions. And one of the best results I'm getting right now is emerging markets. And those are the countries: Argentina, Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Kenya, Malaysia, Mexico. You can read the list. I won't spend time reading each country, but this is what I target in my third campaign. And I spent around 20 to 40% of the budget I set for the United States. And for example, I was running a lead campaign and I got a lot of qualified leads from the United Arab Emirates. I was also surprised that I got some very decent conversions from Turkey. Poland was also very, very good for me. I got a lot of people from Mexico, right? A lot of people from Mexico bought, right? So it doesn't really matter the location because people are traveling around the world. And right now there are a lot of expats and nomads. So I urge you to test this type of targeting. I think it's gonna really give you a boost. Regardless of how much you charge for your product, this will give you a boost. Also in the emerging markets, the CPM is much lower. If I'm paying $100 for 1,000 people reached in the United States, for this audience will be maybe like 80% cheaper, right? So you do the math. This is something I urge you to try. This will be the video for today, and the answer is it better to target worldwide or tier 1 countries? I would suggest testing worldwide with a much smaller budget, but I also suggest adding the emerging markets, which will give you some very decent results in my opinion, because this is the reason for me. If you're having a product that costs like $10,000 plus, I'm not sure if it's like worth the test. But think about it, you know your situation the most. Right now, we all know that the world is shifting, right? We have the first world countries in recessions, so we have other markets emerging. So think about it. You can just dial it in your strategy. You can start spending some money on those markets. But I believe the future as a worldwide international business depends on your ability to also sell the market, right? Sell these markets. Russia, you won't be able to target it because of the war. This is my experience. For you, it might be different based on the location. So try targeting those locations. I know it sounds like a very, very like long shot, but it's really not, especially if you have good pixel data. And Facebook will be able to target like expats, nomads, and people with like online businesses traveling the world around those locations. Yeah. If you need help with your Facebook ads, check the links in the description below. My name is Niko. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Here I solve real cases. I say things the way they are. As you can see, I'm not like a fancy business guru. If you go to my Instagram, I don't flex with like Lamborghinis. I don't flex with like Rolex watches. I just do these videos to help people, and I try to answer the questions that bother them the most. So make sure you leave a comment below, subscribe, check the links in the description, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.